Hello and welcome. Oh, it's marvellous to have your company. I'm so looking forward to this show. Not only have we got a brand new DVD, a lovely, lovely one-day special for you. We've got our Matthew, and Matthew's going to let me paint. I'm very excited, Matthew.
You can feel the excitement. You can. It's all around the studio.
I know. Buzzing, innit? Buzzing.
Buzzing.
Buzzing, Matthew.
Like the cinema. It's buzzing.
Buzzing. I'm very excited. I love your shows, Matthew. I think I know you've got a huge following now, and I love people. They just obviously they love absolute getting involved, being able to do it, but just watching the process, it's so relaxing. You just lose yourself in it, don't you?
Yeah, and it's such a nice feeling painting any kind of craft, but the tricky bit, as you maybe know, is getting started.
Yeah.
And that's what this one-day special is about, getting you started and getting you over those first little speed bumps.
Yes, because when you look at a blank canvas, especially if you're not confident in your drawing and stuff, that can be super scary. I love this because you've got, obviously you've got the DVD for loads of ideas and inspiration, but you have got the outline as well. So for proper beginners, that's just so handy, isn't it?
It is, and when we're putting together this one-day special, excuse me, hay fever, that's all.
Happens that.
It was all about, you know, giving people those first steps, but also giving them tuition that they can apply to lots of other things. Or maybe you're an artist that's been painting for a few months and you want to try something different. That's what this is all about today, you know. And I've got to say, it's a cracking price, this.
Yeah.
I might buy one myself, actually.
Oh, no, you won't.
It's tempting.
Oh, yes, you will. Now, it is an amazing price. This is the brand new DVD. It is exclusive to the craft store and it's limited edition. So it is basically a once it's gone, it's gone. I mean, this is beautiful. So we are talking about painting your beautiful sunset and those crashing waves, all about your landscapes and, of course, a beautiful seascape. And it's one of those, isn't it? You know, this is you're learning skills that you will absolutely use again and again.
Yeah, so we've called this one a sea and landscape kit because it's not just about painting a lighthouse and a seascape. Break the picture down.
Yeah.
And we've got the finished painting actually just at the side of you there, Leon, and you can see the beautiful detail. And you can see that it's not just about that one area of painting the sea. Look at that beautiful sky, look at the detail, how to mix every single colour. I've filmed, cracky, it must be hundreds of DVDs over the years, and you know something, I've always made sure that nothing is cut out, and there's no exception here. So we're talking skies, we're talking landscape, we're talking rocks, we're talking trees, we're talking crashing waves. Look at them beautiful, that nice beautiful surf crashing on the rocks there. So it really is a complete tutorial, and as you said, it is very much a limited edition. It's on almost for 2 hours, this DVD.
Wow.
And this is the only place you're going to see it, folks. It really is.
And it's just wonderful. So you're getting the DVD, of course, that's going to give you that fantastic tutorial. You're getting, of course, the outline picture. So obviously you've got a really fantastic start in place. You've then, of course, got the brushes. Now, I know these brushes have been super popular. What are these special for? Because I know this is the thing, isn't it? When you get your brushes, they've all... Well, a lot of them have the specific requirements, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So as a person that's been teaching art for 25 years or so, you kind of start to realise the areas that people find most difficult. And for me, there's two big areas. One of them is painting skies, and the second one is blending paint away. Now, that might seem a simple thing, but people really struggle to do it. So a couple of years ago, I went on a mission to the SAA to design a brush that was designed for painting very simple skies. I'm going to show you this, and you'll love these. It's a beautiful, special shaped bristle that allows perfect sort of cloud shapes and beautiful blending. And also, you can go back to a painting at any time and reactivate that watercolour with the blending blades. Thousands of people already have these brushes and they all love them. They have got 5-star reviews, these brushes.
Amazing. And I think that's it. It's it definitely you need your proper equipment, and that'll really help you get those beautiful results. Obviously, I'll show you more gorgeous pictures in a few moments' time. You're also getting 5 sheets of your watercolour paper. Now, I know you rave about this. This is lovely quality paper, isn't it?
It is, and it's something that I was involved in the design of it, or the recipe of it, as it's called. So I was very lucky. It was like a scene from a TV show with a famous person called The Apprentice in, where we actually went and we actually developed this paper in France. It was wonderful. So what we've got here is a cotton paper, which is branded up Matthew Palmer. This is super stuff. I promise you, you will not get better paper.
Amazing. If you do want extra, have a look on the website, because you can actually get the papers if you've run out, or you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to stack up on that. You can actually get the watercolour block, and you do get 15 sheets, isn't it, in the watercolour block?
Yeah, 15 sheets pre-stretched. It doesn't go all wavy and cockly on you.
Amazing. That's good. The stretching's been done. 793463 if you want that on its own. You've then got the paints as well. And again, this is something that I always love about your collections, because the paints are always they're specific, so you don't need to start faffing, and obviously you can blend, but straight away you've got beautiful skin tones with these, both of these, haven't we? And then you've got that beautiful blue. What's we actually called that one? So this one is your natural violet. They're gorgeous tones, and the skin tones are exquisite.
They are. So the skin tones took a lot of developing. So what we've got here is a light skin tone, a dark skin tone, and natural violet. The skin tones aren't just for portraits. I mean, a few moments ago, we saw a beautiful shot of a little girl with a fishing net, which really shows the light skin tone, but also the dark skin tone used for the shadows. You can see it there. Yeah. But it's such a wonderful colour. And when I first went to design these colours, I went with the mind of not just for doing portraits, but also for doing, think of those terracottas, Mediterraneans, beautiful for skies, absolutely stunning. And this painting here of Rome, you can really see the skin tones are used completely throughout it, through the sky. That little bit of colour just on the side of the Vatican there really gives that lovely effect of the sunshine catching the edge.
That's absolutely exquisite. I think it's the skin tones as well that are used in here.
Yes. So that's the scene of Venice there, Leonie, and that one is basically, it's the dark skin tone all the way through.
Wow.
And then I've used a black pen to put some detail in.
That looks absolutely phenomenal. Really beautiful. Wow, it is so busy. Already 10% of the stock has already gone. I mean, please check your baskets out. So remember, the DVD, absolutely exclusive. You're not going to get it anywhere else. This is such a lovely, lovely kit. You're making a huge £21 saving. 019-025 is your item number. If you'd love to get hold of that, you've got your flexi as well. So today, to get the whole collection, it's just £20. Now, that's where we're starting. That's your one-day special. But you might want to add extra paints into your collection. I know a lot of people who've been following Matthew will have already built up their paint collection, but it's always nice if you are starting that you have got this choice as well. So it's any 3 of your paints. Again, these are all your SAA paints, and with these ones, you've got a lot of primaries here. These are your primaries, basically, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So what you're seeing here is natural green light, natural orange, natural red, natural blue, natural turquoise. And if I talk a little bit slower, we're just about to say, look at that natural opaque white. Now, these colours are colours that I've designed with one mission, and that is it's basically designed to replicate nature. So the green for the trees, orange for autumn trees. It makes sense, it really does. And it's such a simple idea that I'm surprised it's never been done before. You know, just sort of pre-blending colours that you can just paint with and enjoy. It takes the stress away. So if you was going to buy 3 colours from here, personally I'd go for the red, I'd go for the green, and maybe something like the turquoise, because those 3 colours will really complement your one-day special, and the colours that you can't necessarily just go to an art shop and buy. And I've got to say the price, because these retail for £7.10, I believe, per tube. So this is a really good price here, folks, as well.
Wow, that is amazing. £15.99, and that's for 3 of those. 679967 now, back in stock. So this sold out when it was a one-day special. special. It's actually sold out twice in the past. We have got this back in stock now, but again, please check your baskets out. So you've got the book and the DVD here. Only £20.99. You've got the book, so we can have a look at some pictures.
We can have a flick, yeah. So this was the last one day special, and it sold out within 2 shows. We brought it back, it sold out again. So here it is, folks. It's been republished, and a quick flick through will show you that it's been out around 4 to 6 weeks. This book, it's not been
wow,
available too long. It's got 32 step-by-step projects. And if we flick through, it took over 2 years to write this book, so it's got a lot of content in it. It's a search press book, so you know you're getting the beautiful detail.
Yeah.
And it's got 32 step-by-step projects from painting, you know, things like penguins, sheep in field, you know, that beautiful monochrome of a cat there, flamingos. It's a self-portrait of Mr. Palmer there, so it's got some wonderful paintings in there, you can see, and it's all beautiful step-by-step. 32 projects from domestic, you know, pets, cats and dogs, to your farm animals, to how to draw them, how to paint them. And what's really cool about this book is that right at the beginning of it, each of the 32 projects has its own tracing as well. So you get those as well. And it comes with a DVD as well, so it's back in stock, folks. So if you want to get this, add it to your baskets. Oh,
that's amazing. I tell you what, this was so busy in the past. As we say, sold out twice. If you've created something, if you painted something from the book, I would love to see your creations. Get those sent in throughout the one day special, because we always love seeing what you've learnt. Now, if you'd love to get hold of this, remember, you get in the DVD and you get in the book. I mean, that's just one of the beautiful projects. That's 294918, your item number. Now, obviously, we've been chatting about the SAA a lot. You can become a member of the SAA, and you get a nice little bundle there as well, don't you?
Yeah, so whenever we come here to the craft show, you get this wonderful extra bonus. Now here, for the first time, you can actually buy a membership, a year's membership, direct through the craft store, which is really good. So a year's membership to the SAA will give you a year's worth of artistic blood. It comes included, and basically it's there to keep the inspiration alive. I've been a member of the SAA since the mid-90s, from when I kind of first got a bit serious about painting. And for the £55 fee, what you're going to get is a subscription. This is my favourite bit of this. You get a subscription to a beautiful glossy mag called Paint, and Paint magazine is rammed with step-by-step tutorials on painting, basically. For example, here we can see this beautiful fairy tale forest tutorial. Wow. And you get 6 of these per year sent direct to your door. You can't just go to a newsagent and buy this, because it's only available to SAA members.
Fabulous.
So it's all sent to your door. You get a catalogue of massive art products, and you get free shipping as a member. You get loyalty points, and actually, as part of that £55 fee, we'll give you £5 worth of points to spend straight away. So you're getting £5 back instantly. Massive discounts. You get things like insurance for your paintings if you do exhibit them. You get a free book on watercolour. You get a huge catalogue of watercolour and acrylic and oil, and every single medium, video on demand. So think of the famous streaming service with the big red N. You know what I'm talking about? Well, you kind of get this included for painting. There's over, I think there's over 700 lessons, and that's growing each week.
Wow.
So that is part of your membership. You log in with your details, and you can just enjoy unlimited access. But if you join through the craft store, you're going to get all this wonderful art box, which opens flat, which is really cool.
Yeah, okay. That's cool.
And it's all branded up SAA, so it's nice quality. We're going to give you some masking fluid as well, which is great for protecting those areas of your paintings, a tube of French ultramarine blue, and a beautiful fan brush. Now, it's only available through the craft store, and you can buy it direct as well now.
Amazing. Thank you, Matthew. If you do want to go for your SAA membership, remember that's a year's worth. That's a year's membership for just £55, and that includes that wonderful, your wonderful gifts as well. 922766 is your item number if you'd love to join the SAA. Now, the one-day special. It is so busy. Already 20% of the stock has gone. I am not surprised. I mean, the actual picture that you're going to learn how to produce, all that detail, It's just sensational, and I love that you've got the DVD because you can chill out, you can take your time, and it's just like Matthew. I mean, he's such a good teacher. It's just like being in a live workshop with him. If you do want to get hold of this today, just £20. You know exactly what you're paying next month, and of course that £21 saving means really you should have been paying an extra month there, but you're not. 019025. Right, the bit we all really love. Well, one of the bits we really love, the bit I really love is when I get to sit over there. But the bit we really love is seeing what our Matthew's up to. What are you starting with today then, our Matthew?
No idea.
Oh,
no
good.
idea. Honestly, I've got no idea. So what I've got is a piece of the watercolour paper from the One Day Special.
Good start.
Which, yeah, absolutely is a good start, it is. And it's stuck to a board with some masking tape, just any old masking tape will do, or even just normal, you know, kind of sellotapey, sticky tapey stuff. It's good to stick it to a board, but you don't have to. Now, this paper is a premium cotton paper. Honestly, it makes such a difference having the right watercolour paper. It really does. It's the one thing that you want to get right. Now, you can paint large size, you can paint half, you can paint quarter, you can use the back of this as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this on the side and I'm going to actually tape off an area, I think. So we'll do half the size of the sheet, which will do a nice sort of workable picture. And I want to show you the blending blades because for me, they're such a useful tool and I need to show you what they do. Because if you just give somebody some blending blades and say, there you go, it's, okay, so what am I going to do with these? But I want to show you how you can use them in the special shape of the brush and everything. Okay. And paint a beautiful sky and a gorgeous kind of scene, which honestly, I don't know what it's going to be until the sky goes in. That's part of the fun. And that's why you've got to stick around to the end. Is that right?
Yes,
you've got to
indeed.
persevere. You've got to persevere.
Let's see where
Anticipation is half the fun. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet the paper. Now, a slight tilt on your board is all you need. Okay. And so just work on a table or your lap or something. Easels are for when you demonstrate on the craft store, so you don't need an easel. So wetting the paper first allows the paint to blend smoothly, to mix together. And I want to show you how you can think very different with blending blades compared to normal paint, because with a normal sky you're forever panicking about it drying on you, but here we don't need to worry too much because we've got special tools that do the job. So down to the palette, what I'm going to do, I want to grab some of the light skin tone.
We've got this palette as well. If you do fancy the palette, only £9.99. Pop that in your little flexi. It's always handy.
I've popped some natural violet on the other side. So can you see that brush, how it's got the two colours on? Yeah. Which is a nice way, and it stays put. It stays put because of the thickness of the bristle. We actually designed the bristle for these brushes, which is really nice. I'm going to pop it down, and look, you get two colours straight away. So you're starting to get skies, the paint flows, and you can mix and you can blend. It's such a nice way of working, folks. And that is the sky straight away. Those colours are just such good sky colours. That nice evening. Yeah. Love the terracotta. Just here at the side, I'm going to just pull this into shot, actually, because this painting here, which is of the Amalfi in Italy, this here is the skin tones. So you can see it's not just for painting skies, it's for portraits, it's for beautiful. It's just such a gorgeous colour. It's in the rocks down here as well. Yeah. And the DVD will talk you through how to use those colours. It's a very warm, soft colour, isn't it? It is. And it's opaque as well, which means that when it dries, it really shines through. Beautiful. So I'm just going to pick up some more of the colour on the large blending blades. Remember, you get two brushes in the One Day Special. Yeah. And I think on their own, these are over £13 just for the brushes. Wow. So £12.99, yeah, just for brushes. Just going to work those in. And we've already painted a sky. But what I'd like to do next is pop in some clouds. And this, for me, is why the blending blade has got this special shape. Now, if you look at the brush, I've not cleaned it very well, but you see that one side is longer than the other. Yeah. And that gives a special shape to clouds. And clouds, people struggle to do clouds. But with these brushes, it takes all the fear away from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to load up the brush. One side's going to have the dark skin tone on, which is this kind of chocolatey colour. Yeah. And then the other side will put the violet on. Again, all in the One Day Special. So I always say, if you're going to buy the One Day Special, just watch the shows back. Yes. Because it's a good way of picking up some tips and tricks. You've been quite brave with the colour there, because that looks quite... That looks pretty heavy. You don't need too much water in watercolour. I think that people think watercolour will tip water in, but you don't need it. Yeah. You don't need it. Now, if I lay that flat, I'll pop it just here, and twist.
Wow.
And you can see that multicolour, that
Yeah.
nice kind of dramatic cloud. I'm going to taper it off, make it to a point. But literally, it's effortless to do.
They look
And
quite stormy.
it works really well as a cloud, and it was really what the brush was going to be. In the original spec for the brush a few years ago when we designed it, it was going to be called a cloud brush. But then we thought, well, actually, these work nice for blending paint as well. So that's where it kind of sort of merged into a multi-use brush. So if I taper those off, we can get thin ones.
Yeah, it's a
And I love the fact that you get different colours, and you can see that nice evening because the colours lend themselves. Clean the brush really well. We'll give it a bit of a pinch through the fingers. So squeeze it through the fingers there.
Excellent.
And then we're going to soften the bottoms, which is something everybody likes. And what we'll do is we'll just drag it down. And you can get rain, or you can just kind of blend.
Oh, yeah.
And you can soften. And normally when you paint a sky like this, I'm conscious, especially when I'm teaching workshops and things, I'm conscious that people are having the problems that if it's dry,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like a cloud because the edges don't look soft. But with these brushes, it's designed for reactivation of colour. So that's very dry here.
Right.
So I can tickle the top of the cloud and it blends it. Even if that was dry, if it was a week later, I can just simply use a bit of water and I can tickle the top of the cloud.
Oh, wow. Because that's something you don't generally do, is it? You know, once it's dry, going in again with
Absolutely,
a
yeah.
brush that's...
Yeah.
I remember that on the class.
I think that most artists have been teaching never touch your sky once it's dry,
Yeah.
but for the first time we're saying forget all that nonsense, just go back and tickle it with a blending blade, because this is what they're designed for. And people that have bought these over the past few years, because these are relatively new brushes, but look how you can put light in the cloud just by dragging the blade. It's lifting it up and it makes a beautiful, gorgeous evening sky, don't it? And it really does look nice. And I'd say that that is a finished sky. And I'm just very quickly going to pop in some misty hills at the back. So just bear with me a sec.
No problem.
Into the palette down here. We're going to take some violet, which is in the One Day. Mix it with the dark skin and we get grey, because brown and violet do make grey. And I want some misty mountains, because it's a bit damp still, so that's quite a nice thing to do. And I love painting mountains. You've seen me do it a few times, but we'll pop them in again. So I'll pop those in.
Beautiful.
Now, if you notice, because the background's a little bit damp, it just lightly softens. Now, this is what we call blending. And now, when I first started teaching many years ago, in the 90s, before days of internet, happy days, I used to assume that people could just do this because I could do it.
Yeah.
But I soon realised that it's not the case, and blending is very difficult. So these brushes are designed to make this probably the most #1 technique in painting, make it easy.
So is it just a very damp brush, like hardly damp? Is that what?
Yeah. So all I do is give it a bit of a pinch or a bit of a tap on tissue, and that's just the right amount there.
Yeah.
And the special bristle, it allows you to go back in and reactivate paint, even when it's dry.
Amazing.
Like here, like we said, you know, it's dry at the top. I can just
Tickle it.
And we've created some beautiful misty mountains ready for some stuff at the bottom, which we'll come back to once it's dry.
Amazing. That looks so good already. It is ridiculous. I love watching things come together, because it just, before you know it, it's like, oh wow, that's phenomenal. Obviously Matthew does make it look ridiculously easy, and that's why it's so nice to have the tutorial DVD, because obviously all those techniques he's going to share with you. The DVD will allow you to go back time and time again. So if you don't feel you've nailed it, you can go back and have another go. For your first go, you have of course got the lined out drawing, and I love that you have got the sketch, because this is such a good starting point, and it does mean it takes that sort of fear factor away of where you're going. Remember, you do get the 2 brushes, so the 2 blending brushes, and these have been so busy every single time they've been on. Now part of the kit, sorry, that is really bugging me, hold on, that's better. Now now part of the kit, and brilliant, brilliant quality brushes. You've then got the paints. You've already seen just how effective they are. Not just skin tones, obviously. We're talking about that beautiful warm summer sky. We're talking about beautiful terracotta buildings. We're talking about just adding that warmth to a scene. It just looks sensational. And then, of course, you've got that beautiful blue violet, which is just gorgeous. I'll tell you the proper name of that. It is violet, isn't it? Yes, it is. Natural violet, which is just, yeah, sensational. Remember, you have got the paper. That is incredibly important. Of course, with this, with the DVD, yep, you've got your picture, you know where you're going. But the thing is, it's just as Matthew said, we're talking about wonderful seascapes. We're talking about learning your different skies, your different landscapes as well. And this is the thing, once you've learnt your techniques, once you've actually learnt how to do these, then you start experimenting. But you can create so many different beautiful scenes. So that's why this is such an incredible investment, because where are you going to take it? I know, doesn't that look good? And this is the thing, isn't it? Oh man, you just need to walk around and watch the variations of sky. And I love that. You know, how many photographs have you got of just sky? And imagine being able to recreate those. And all you need to do is learn the skills. Now, if you'd love to go for this one-day special, just £39.99, you are making an amazing £21 saving. You can't get that DVD anywhere else. This is it. This is a place that you can get hold of that. And only 2 payments, £20. 019025 is your item number. Now then, talking of fantastic workshops, and the craft alongs with our Matthew have been super, super busy. If you want to go for this now, you're actually getting 3 weeks of tuition. I mean, it is amazing. You're saving £9.99. It's only £5. That's incredible. 039 131. So your first one is going to be on the 3rd of August. Obviously, it's every week, so just those 3 weeks, every week, 9 p.m. Honestly, these have been so well received. If you'd like a craft along, so get these delivered to your door, and then you're ready. You're literally sat there ready, so you can paint along with Matthew. It's such a good price. I mean, it's a ridiculous price, is that? 039 131, your item number. And I know your workshops are so busy. And I mean, with the SAA membership, that's what you were chatting about as well. All that tuition. I mean, it's just, it's an encyclopedia of knowledge.
It is. So the SAA added this service a couple of years ago now, and they've called it Art Video On Demand, and that is now part of the membership. If you go back a couple of years, it wasn't there, and the price is still the same. So for the £55, that's a year's membership to the SAA. And you get that video on demand, which is wonderful. Unlimited access for 12 months. I think there's around 60 videos of me on there doing various things as well. So there's loads of stuff, and new stuff is added all the time. So it's really good. But remember, as well as all that, you get the wonderful paint magazine, which is sent to your door. It's a lovely glossy mag. You get the catalogue with the discounts, the free shipping, which is wonderful, a book on watercolours. And you get this wonderful extra bonus of this wonderful art carry case, which actually folds flat. And I know people that use this as a way of resting your paper on as well, because it's got that nice angle to it. So you get that, you get a bottle of masking fluid for protection of your white areas, and you get a fan brush and a tube of blue watercolour paint as well. So all that for a 12-month subscription for the £55. And as we said, for the first time, you can buy it direct to the craft store, which is cool.
It's very handy, isn't it?
It is.
Because it used to be quite tricky. Did that sell? Now, if you do want to go for this one, £55, brand new today, of course. 922766 is your item number. I know we were talking about tuition. You've got a workshop at the weekend, haven't you? Didn't you, sir?
Yes, that's that's a nice time to mention. So yeah, basically, over the past 18 months, I've been teaching live virtual workshops, and they've been so popular, people around the world. And what's good about them is it's just me and you there, nobody else, because all you see is me. And it's a great way of learning watercolours. It's live, it's on Sunday the 18th, and there's one pretty much every weekend. It's a tenner, and it's about 4 hours, and you can watch it live or you can watch it any time after, because it's got like a playback system, like your catch up as well, which is really good. And the subject is actually a nighttime street scene with the moon reflecting in the pavement and the street lamps being lit. So a beautiful thing, folks, and all you got to do is go to all the w's.watercolor.tv. Get yourself booked on for a tenner, you can't go wrong.
That's
it's
such
beautiful.
a bargain. It's all a bargain. Right, carry on with this beautiful work of art, because that's looking so cool.
So if that's all we painted, I think it makes a nice picture. Yeah, it works, don't it? If you're a complete beginner to watercolours and you achieve that painting there, I'm sure you'd be happy. And that was just using the colours from the One Day Special with the blending blades. And remember, you do get the 2 blending blades as well, which makes it really special. I mean, 2 brushes, 5 sheets of paper, that special DVD is almost on for 2 hours with a complete project for you to work along with. It's a great thing, it really is, and it's the DVD once it's gone. Is it?
Yeah.
6 p.m. tomorrow. Is that the?
Yeah, that's your cut-off point.
What's left gets buried in the desert next to the video game cartridge, the Pac-Man cartridge or the ET cartridge, whatever it was.
You go and digging them up.
I'm sure that some people know what I'm talking about. So let's add some more detail to this picture, and I think what we'll do is we'll pop in a line of tape actually.
For some reason, it looks like the desert.
It has got a bit of a desert feel to it.
It's got a desert look to it.
Of course, the biggest desert in the world is the Antarctic desert. So it could be a wintry desert. I want to pop this line here, relatively straight line. And again, blending blades, I'm going to use a small one this time. And we're going to use the dark skin tone, and then on the other side, use the violet. So we've got a brush that's got 2 colours on. And we'll start off, we're going to paint in some pine trees. So we're going to turn this more into the Lake District and less the Antarctic. So we'll put these in down here.
See,
so
and those 2 colours together, they look dark, don't they? Look intense.
Yeah, it mixes nice together. So even already you can see that you know, it doesn't need much before you start.
See, the brushes, I love that because, yeah, beautiful for blending, but because they've got that really nice, it's a really nice strong brush, but they've got a really nice point to it, hasn't they? You know, the bristles at the side?
Yeah,
how would you
it's really
describe
nice
that?
for painting detail, actually, because you can use it like a pencil, which is kind of what I'm doing now. So I'm painting these tall, sort of evening pine trees, silhouetting against the sky.
Beautiful.
And I'm just kind of flicking outwards with the brush, which is quite effective, and a few taps at the top. You see that nice kind of pine tree effect that you get.
Yeah.
And we will continue and do a few more of these. What you can actually do is you can actually take the brush. Can we see the palette? We can see the palette, can't we?
Yeah.
And we can give it a good old-fashioned stipple. Because it's such a stiff, robust, synthetic bristle, you can make it go spiky really easily. And you can utilise those spikes, and you can flick outwards from both sides.
That's amazing. And that doesn't ruin them, does it not?
No, it's design, it likes it. It likes the brush being bashed.
Are you sure?
It makes it 100%. It makes it more spiky.
Because that looks ridiculously effective.
I love silhouettes. They're really nice things to paint.
I do. And the violet, it's just such a beautiful colour. And that's mixed with the darker skin tone, isn't it, to get that?
So you make the violet darker by adding a bit of dark skin, and it makes grey. And grey, as we all know, I mean, I rant and rave about grey being the most important colour because it's the colour of shadows. But if you like painting winter scenes, and I know that lots of people are already starting to think about, you know, Christmas cards and things like that, crafting and creating them, it's a nice way to add to stock up. And it's such a nice thing, you know, sending somebody a hand-painted picture.
Well, it's just so special. And something they can actually frame. You know,
it's wonderful, isn't it? You know, that you've created it. You know, it's such a nice thing. And that's why I love it when people... I'm very lucky because I get to sort of work and teach a lot of people, and I get so many hand-painted cards come through from people. It's wonderful. And of course, I save them all. It's something you save, and you don't throw them in the recycle bin. You put them away and you save them, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's given me that side of the picture. Beautiful. Now on the other side here, what I want to do is create some more mist. So I'm going to dilute the colour. Now this is just violet mixed with dark skin. So I want to soften it down. And we're going to bring in...
It does already look misty. It's just got that look to it, hasn't it?
I'd say it's either early morning or late evening, yeah?
It's the colours, isn't it, though? That skin tone, that beautiful one, the skin tones in there. And then, yeah, it just sort of drifts out. It just does give it that really lovely sort of early morning misty day.
Then we'll get water on the brush and we'll give that a bit of a blend again. Blending blade, it's an effortless way of working.
That's
now, if you was to take 3 colours, I'm giving away a secret here, but quite a lot of people have asked me, how do you paint rainbows? And obviously, you can't buy rainbow paint, apparently. Unless it's the 1st of April, then you probably can. But because the blending blade is designed to hold paint in place because of the tapered design, you can pop some red, some yellow and some blue on, and you can... And it does work. If anyone goes over to my website, Watercolour TV, you will see it. You will see it, and it works absolutely lovely, it does. Let's just pop in a little bit of darkness down here, some shadows and various things. So imagine there's some sort of taller trees in front of it, misty character. It's like a one-stroke brush. Yeah, it is. But we've got... I'm sort of picturing... I'm picturing Lake District, I'm picturing... you know, Scottish Highlands, that kind of thing, atmospheric, misty. And I had no idea what I was going to do until we started, and that is the truth on this one. That's the truth on most shows. And then we'll very slowly and carefully take the tape off. And what we'll do is we'll come back to that in probably about, you know, a couple of minutes. And let's paint in a lake. Let's paint in a lake and reflect those trees.
Amazing.
Magic.
Oh, I love that, Matthew. Isn't it? It is a little bit like magic, isn't it? You know, when you see that come together, when you see it come to life. And what always impresses me is the fact that at the minute, Matthew's using those 3 colours. You know, you can create such depth, you can create such atmosphere with those 3 colours. And that, for me, I just find that spellbinding, and just the results are just incredible. Obviously, you have to learn the techniques. I mean, Matthew's been doing it a few years. It's all about learning, and obviously, you build up your repertoire, you build up your skill set, and it's things like this that allow you to do that. And it's one of those, isn't it? Everything. There's always something new to learn. You know, however many classes you've done, you'll always find something new to learn. And I love that about any craft, you know, that it keeps on feeding us incredible, incredible techniques and things that we can just get lost in. The DVD is such a wonderful way to learn, because you're not, you know, you don't have to watch it at a specific time. You don't have to go anywhere. You're in the comfort of your own home. And the thing is about this, you are learning beautiful techniques, you know, for the sky, for the sea, obviously the detail of the lighthouse, but then of course you've got the reflections there, you've got the beautiful mountains in the distance, so of course you're learning the perspective there to create that incredible scene. It is a beautiful scene. You can see from that, of course, you know, there are different colours that have been used there, which you can get in your pick and mix if you choose, but it is up to you what colours you want to be using for this one. We're already over a quarter of the stock gone. It is so busy. You're getting the beautiful paper, quality paper. Of course, as Matthew said, how exciting, going making it, which is fabulous. And then, of course, and that's so important, that you've got the sketch outline, so that is an incredible starting point. What a fantastic one-day special for only £39.99, saving £21. Your first payment is only £20. Please make sure you check your baskets out. 019025, your item number. If you do want the paint, so like I said, as you saw on that paint, the actual finished painting, there were different colours in there, like the red, like the beautiful green. Maybe you do want to add that turquoise to get different tones into the blue as well. You've got that choice. And like Matthew said, the price is incredible. £15.99. And did you say they're normally £7.99 each or something?
Yeah,
did you say?
so as of sort of June time, the natural colours £7.10 per colour. So for £15.99 you get 3. So that is a great price. And it's interesting because, like we said, each colour is designed to replicate nature. So the green for trees, orange for autumn trees, red is just nice as a primary colour. The blue, beautiful, and of course the turquoise is absolutely spot on for seascapes. It's bang on.
Beautiful. So that would be definitely one to pop in your basket. £15.99, and that's for 3. That is such a bargain. 679967 is your item number. Right, we will zoom back to Matthew. Do remember, you've got other goodies on the show, like, of course, the wonderful Animals DVD and the book. So do check that out. But back to you.
Lovely. Okay,
Lovely.
let's have a little clean of the palette. In fact, actually, we can mention the palette, because the palette is actually... I always wanted to make my own palette, and many years ago I used to use a bit of wood and a bit of silicone and make my own palette.
So your dreams come true, Matthew.
When I was a boy, you know,
Hey,
life is complete
boy.
now. I've designed my own palette. And this one is an easy clean palette. And why is it easy clean? Because as a teaching artist, I spend half my life cleaning this palette down. So there's no corners, 0 corners, which makes it nice and easy to clean. And it's got a special coat. And if I show you the back of the palette, you can see it's a matte finish, and that's the native material. But when you look at this side, it's got that beautiful, almost like a Teflon non-stick frying pan kind of thing. And of course it does come with a lid as well, and it also comes with a layer of sponge, which is designed to keep your paint moist, and there's nothing better than moist paint, let me tell you.
Superb.
So we've got it all sorted, folks, and
Amazing.
again, great price of £9.99 for this, it really is. So this is all nice and dry. I want to paint in a bit of a lake here and put some reflections of the trees with the blending blade. So let's start off by wetting the water, which is good for water.
Wet that water.
We'll wet the water. And again, remember, this painting here, folks, is just using the brushes, the paper, and the 3 colours from the one-day special.
And
you know,
it's
how
just
much would
half
you
a piece
pay
of
for a
paper.
workshop day in person? You know, if you just painted this, look how much you've learned in this little lesson. You've done skies, you've done clouds, you've done mountains, trees. And of course, the DVD is on for nearly 2 hours. And it's me explaining every brushstroke for you. And you will learn landscapes and seascape essentials, from trees to crashing waves to distant mountains.
It's in real time as well, isn't it? So
Absolutely,
it's all step by step. It's, I mean, it's a great gift. These are fab for gifts. You know, someone who you know should be getting into this, or someone who's been dying to have a go. Honestly, it's such a good gift for those. But obviously, a great gift for yourself as well.
And of
nice
course,
little treats.
you can't get it anywhere else, neither.
And you can't get it anywhere
place
else.
to get it.
Exclusive.
On the DVD. On the brush, we've got some of the violet, we've got some of the light skin, and look how it stays in place. A normal brush, that'll all be mixing together, but because of the tapered bristle, it stays in place. And we'll just lightly skim it across the paper, and it puts lines on it. Look at the beautiful surface to the water. Eh?
Oh, that's
now,
nice.
it makes the horizontal ripples. We can turn the brush over, because actually, because it stays in place, there's still plenty of colour on the back compared to the front. So it's also quite an economical way of working. It's a really nice thing, designing brushes, as you can probably imagine, you know, and coming up with the ideas that make these things work. And that's come from a lifetime of teaching and realising what sort of tools to give people to make the process easier. Let's pop some reflections in, shall we? We'll go for the small blending blade.
Okay.
And I think you mentioned this, Leonie, you mentioned the point of the brush. And if you look at the brush, if I give them a clean, you can see, I've put them in, you can see the beautiful points on them as well. So it's got the blade edge, it's got the tapered, and it's got the point, so you can use them for detail as well. And it's amazing what you can do with just a couple of brushes, okay? So let's go for the small one, and we'll mix together the violet again with the dark skin, because that's going to give us that dark colour that we used for the tree. And we'll stipple it again. And this time we're going to dab it on a bit of kitchen paper. Which has obviously seen some action. That's done about 3 months hard labour, that piece of tissue. It's getting time for a new one.
Recycle it, Matthew.
If you'd like to win it, put your name and address on the back of a stamped addressed envelope. That brings back memories. And then what we'll do is we will do this. Can you see how it's giving a downward drop? Because reflections drop and never get mixed up with shadows and reflections. People do all the time. And a shadow is very different to a reflection, of course. So it's reflecting the old trees, and of course I can build up the strength in colour to make it darker.
Amazing.
As we come along here. And that downward drop really adds a sense of depth and
Yeah.
reflection.
It's mad, isn't it? I love it. It just looks so effective. It's just ridiculous.
I think the thing is, it's always a bit scary having a white piece of paper.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I've always done is worked with the guys at the SAA and come up with ideas on how to take that fear away. And one of them, of course, is to do, special paints and brushes that are designed to take that fear away. Because you say to someone mix a grey, they'll do probably black and white paint, and of course it doesn't work,
Yeah.
So it's sort of teaching people, and it's like giving them a DVD and a piece of paper and a couple of brushes and say crack on with it.
Yeah.
It's like having a recipe a book to follow, and it is as simple as that. It really is, folks, and you don't have to be scared of it. It's a great gift for somebody as well, so it's a lovely
I love it because it really teaches you so many different skill sets, like colour and being brave with your use of colour. Because like you say, people would just mix up a grey with black and white, but the skin tone with that beautiful violet, it gives it such a different intensity, doesn't it?
It does, and it's got an atmosphere because probably my favourite colour from the natural collection is natural violet, and it's such a lovely colour for snow scenes. It's perfect for bluebells as well. I'm giving this a quick 30 seconds because what I want to do is just pop in some light in the water, but it needs to be dry.
Okay.
So
I'll do a bit. I'll do a bit while you do another bit of drying. Okay, it is the first hour. This is exclusive. You can't get this anywhere else, literally. You cannot get this anywhere else. Once at the end of the one-day special, that's it. You're not going to be able to get it. So if you do want to get hold of this, this is literally the only place you're going to get it. So you do have to check your baskets out with this one. It's not one that you're going to be able to shop round for. A brilliant DVD, almost 2 hours worth of our Matthew, taking you step by step to create that beautiful piece of art. You are learning so many different skills here. You're learning how to create a beautiful composition. And obviously you've got the tools to do it. You've got the paper, you've got the paint, you've got the beautiful paint brushes there as well. You've even got the outline to get you started. So it's not even scary making those first marks on that white paper. Now, 2 payments, £20, that's all you're paying. You've got a £21 saving, but only if you check your baskets out within this one-day special. 019025 is your item number. Right then, it's dry over there, I believe.
Yes, it is. And all I want is just a few seconds to put some light on, and then you can have a go.
Yay, thank you.
You can have a quickie. What I've done is I've got a craft knife here, nice and sharp. It's dry, and in the water, I'm actually going to cut the paper, and it'll put that little bit of evening light on the water.
Amazing.
Makes your teeth itch, this, but it's a lovely way to create beautiful.
Yeah, that's it.
The surface, and if we quickly get that tape away, because it's always nice to see it against that white background. It's a nice little. It's a nice little picture to try, folks. If you're getting the one-day special, watch this show back and rewind and have a go.
Yeah.
No sketching, just a bit of watercolour paint and a bit of paper.
See, that looks so impressive. And that's literally just the paints and literally everything that you're getting in your one-day special. How clever is that? And you can do this, just have a go. But please check your baskets out, get those wonderful, that wonderful one-day special delivered to your door. 09025. Now, the SAA, if you do want to join the SAA, they've got an amazing collection of artists, like our Matthew, of course. You're going to learn so much. You have got that that wonderful free gift as well. But the thing is, it is a wonderful source. It's a wonderful source of education, of inspiration, of product. I mean, it's a gift that keeps on giving. £55, that's for the full year. Please check that out and have a look at some of those fantastic tutorials and more that you're getting for that. 922766 is your item number. Playtime! Woo, I'm excited. Right, okay, we've got about an hour and a half. Only joking. I love the Karen's up next. Right then, what am I doing?
Okay, so we're going to paint something called Surprise View, actually.
Woo!
And we'll start off by grabbing the large blending blade, and very simply, Give it a bit of a rinse in the water and just wet the paper.
Okay,
Just wet the paper. Wet it all. A couple of times. Just wet it all.
Wet it all.
Good old Peterborough water.
Boom.
Pop it on.
Hey, it's Houndel water, this, Matthew.
Oh, is it?
Houndel
Oh, it's even
water.
better.
We imported
Premium. Premium.
Houndel.
We live in
Houndel, this.
Derbyshire, so we get Buxton water, you see. That's even better Buxton
Posh
water.
stuff.
You can buy it in bottles, that.
Ah, indeed.
Yeah. So it's all nice and wet.
20
And then what we'll do is we'll grab, on one side of the brush, let's grab some of the light skin tone.
Okay. So just dipping it in, literally.
Just dip it in and then sort of lay it flat in your palette. I don't know whether you can see my palette, can you? I'm just sort of giving it a bit of a wiggle there. Yeah. So
Okay.
giving it a bit of a sort of load up one
what,
side.
What with that? So I'm dipping it and putting it in palette and adding a bit of water?
Yeah, and just kind of work it into your brush so it looks like it's on sort of one half. And then on the other side, grab some of the violet, natural violet, which looks like a blue actually, but when you paint with it, it does dry violet. So you've got a brush that has two colours on, some light and some dark. If I hold it there, you can probably see the brush. Can we see that?
Okay.
Here it is. Look at that. Beautiful.
Amazing.
And then what we'll do is we'll just imagine there's some nice classical music on in the background.
Okay.
Copyright free, of course. And then what we'll do is we'll just ever so gently skim it over, and you can get little variations in your sky. So you can light pressure. Think about adding different angles to the brush as well. So you can have like a lighter bit and a skin tone a bit. If yours is coming out too violet, you could always pop in a bit more light skin tone, but just gently.
I went a bit heavy there.
Be nice and gentle.
Yeah, I went a bit heavy.
Look at that for a bit of a picture-in-picture, eh? Hey?
Hey, hey.
Amazing.
Oh, boom.
No expense spared here at the craft store, let me tell you. So it's nicely painted in. Big budget stuff, that's what I'm going to say. Now what we'll do is we'll clean the brush. That's the money shot. And what we'll do is we'll change brushes and we'll go for the smaller one. We'll go for the smaller blending blade there. Nice and clean. And I think because you liked my pine trees, didn't you?
I did. Love a good pine tree.
You were fair chuffy then, weren't you? So I think you should paint some.
Oh, cracking.
Paint some, yeah. So what we'll do is we're going to mix the dark skin tone, quite strong, tiny bit of water, the water that's just on your brush, okay? So a little spot of water, so it's the dark skin, and we'll mix it with the violet.
Dark skin, I've gone and picked up the light skin.
So if you mix the dark and the violet together, you get a spot-on shadow colour, bit of darkness, and then what we'll do is we'll make sure the paint's thick as well, Leona, so make sure it's nice and strong, nice and heavy, because your background is still a bit damp, so the thicker the paint, the less it's going to spread into the damp paint, as it were.
Okay.
Okie dokie. And then what we'll do is we'll use sort of one side of the blade and we'll paint in a couple of lines. Let it spread a bit, it's fine. So
mine must be too wet because mine's...
Okay, if it's really spreading, just sort of tap it on kitchen paper, remove some of the excess colour.
Okay.
And it'll reduce the spread.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then in between the gaps, just be quite random. Use the side of the blade to do all these nice vertical lines and make them smaller as they move along. What you say, just keep going. Lots of vertical lines. Look at that, more picture in picture.
More picture in picture, I tell you. Jimmy, he's on fire.
Give it a stipple in your palette. Once you've filled it in, remember it goes all spiky. Got 3 minutes left, that's bags of time.
Bags of time, that. Stippling me, what's it? Hold on, I've not finished my downward lines yet.
Is this the quietest we've known, Leonie, is it?
Yep,
yeah.
It is.
It's like a Rolls Royce in the studio, you can hear the clock tick. So when you stipple these brushes, it actually makes it go all spiky. And you can utilise that spikiness.
Okay.
That's a good word, isn't it? Spikiness. I like that.
Yeah.
It's probably not even in the dictionary, to be honest. And what we'll do is we'll lightly flick. You see I'm flicking from one side?
Yeah.
And then you change the side. So a gentle pressure. Try and rest on your paper as you do it. a very gentle, try and use the tip, practice on the side of your board if you want to. But you can see that nice effect of those sort of pine trees, you know, those nice kind of tall trees that you see.
I think my first tree, I'm not quite sure what that is. I think my first tree is actually a UFO. But that's okay. It's okay.
Like a scene from the X-Files, is it? But it's about how much paint's on your brush, you know, and how wet the background is. Ideally, what you do is give it a dry at that point, and then you'd obviously work it on. But for a simple atmospheric scene, and what's really interesting about the skin tones is when it dries, because they're opaque, that's when they come through.
Ah, real nice.
I reckon that is a finished little miniature watercolour, but look how nice. And of course, if yours is spread too much, the ones that kind of bleed in the background look more distant, don't they? Yeah? Yeah,
that's what we're going to say.
And you can repaint these ones once they dry and make them stand out. Love it. Nice.
Well, I'm having a lovely time. I mean, I'm meant to wrap up now or something, aren't I? 45 seconds.
You've got all the time in the world. You've got about 40 seconds.
Please check your baskets out. It is an incredible one-day special. I know I'm not looking at you. It's an incredible one-day special. Obviously, with something like this, you're going to learn. Oh, you're there. You're going to learn so many incredible techniques. Do not miss out on this. It is exclusive. You can't get it. Literally, you can't get it anywhere else. So if you do want to get hold of this, whilst we have got it, either before it runs out of stock or, of course, before the end of the one-day special, you have to check your baskets out. 2 payments, £20. Do not miss out on this one. It's superb. And you're back at 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Amazing. Yes. And I bet you don't know what you're doing yet, do you?
No idea.
It's going to be a cheeky surprise. Thank you, Matthew.